Evening, y'all. Chief Prepper here. So, I just got through watching two after Hurricane Helene videos about basically what they went through, what went well, and in some cases what didn't. Simple things, important papers, fireproof box, all in one place. You're okay, baby. You're okay. It's okay. It's okay, baby. Bug zapper just went off. My big ferocious dog is scared to death of that thing. Anyway, you need to be prepared to evac. In Texas, one of the risks we have is fire. And if you're by a lake, flooding. So, rocket stove, wood to put in the rocket stove to cook with, to heat up and do stuff with, boil, way to boil water, and to have a pour over system for your coffee so that you're not sucking your generator dry with the coffee pot. Percolator coffee maker so you can make a whole pot of coffee, old school, like really old school. I remember seeing it in the 60s and 70s. What else? Whole bean coffee, manual grinder. If you have a pour over system, you can put the filters in the pour over, put the coffee in there, and it's like 2 small spoons full for a regular cup of coffee. Or in my case, I got a 2.5 cup. Anyway, a lot of good information. I encourage every one of you to watch natural disaster videos that people put out on what happened, what went well, what didn't go well. Helene is a really good one to watch. There's a lot of information out there about what they did, what they went through. Here recently in Texas, about 70, 80 miles from me, in Kerrville, the flooding they went through. So, switching gears, if you have to evacuate from your house, do you know what you're going to take? If the shit hits the fan while you are out and about, do you have a go bag, a get home bag? Can you carry that bag? How far away from home are you on a typical day or a typical week? If it's 20, 30 miles, can you carry your bag? How are you going to hold up? In your go bag, you need liquid IV or something to replace the minerals, especially if you're in the south where it's hot, that you're going to sweat out. Otherwise, you're going to have horrible cramps, like the kind you never had before, kind that you might not survive. What else? Do you have boots? Do you carry boots with your go bag? You don't want to be walking home in high heels, lady. You don't want to be walking home in cowboy boots, guys, if you got riding heels on. Do you have bug spray? Because if you're like me and I'm 20, 25, 30 miles from my house, if something happens, I'm going to be out in the elements. I'm going to be exposed to insects. The mosquitoes fucking love my ass. So that's probably something I need to put in my fucking bag here really quick. What else? Wet ones or baby wipes for when you have to go to the bathroom on your way home. Toilet paper of some kind. A couple changes of underwear. Many changes of socks. Matter of fact, you need socks more than you need underwear, and you need t-shirts, or you need to use your wet ones to clean your armpits. What else? Red headlamps, white headlamps, red more than white because it's less detectable from a distance. Be conscious of light discipline. Try not to shine your lights up in the air. Very easy to see a white light as far as 2 miles away easily, all right, in the distance. Noise discipline. If you got a generator, try to put it in a place where it's not going to be heard. Make a box that's vented, insulated, so that it absorbs the noise. What else? Store on-hand fuel for your generators, whatever kind of fuel you use. Preferably you have at least a dual fuel generator or more than one. What else? Have your plan for how you hook up your generator to your house already done and tested. And if you don't have a whole house hookup, then at least have enough extension cords on hand and know what you're going to run. Refrigerators, freezers, a fan. Have a room that you can collapse down into where everyone's going to be at. You're all going to sleep in there. You're all going to hang out in there. You know, be conscious of the size of family you got. You know, it's been a long time since most people have slept on the floor. Most people can't. I mean, I'm one of those guys where when I was in Iraq, I slept on a 4x8 sheet of plywood with very little padding, and I got in the habit, and it's not changed since I left the first time, where I roll. I roll because when you're sleeping on plywood like that, your hips start hurting, your shoulders start hurting, so you roll. And that's just the way that is. What else? Talked to a guy recently. Talked to him about, you know, when I was in Iraq, our weapons went with us everywhere. You don't go anywhere and during a shit hits the fan event without a gun. And if you're lucky, you will never have to use it. That means you go to the bathroom. That means you go to the shower. That means it's with you within arm's reach, right? If you have weapons, you need to be trained on them. You need to know how to shoot them. You need to know how to aim them. You need to know how to maintain them. You need to know how to clean them. All right. What else? Need plenty of ammo. If they're semi-automatic weapons that take magazines, you need plenty of magazines. Need fire starting skills and tools, ferrocerium rods, matches, Vaseline, cotton balls, waterproof matches, waterproof fire starters. They make that and sell them at places. You need food. If you have a go bag, you need something you can eat without doing any preparation. An MRE is best, but you need to drink plenty of water, like double the amount of water that you normally drink. Because if you don't, that shit will stop your ass up, all right? And that's ugly. Some kind of first aid, even if all it is vasopressin ointment, super glue of some kind. You can super glue cuts as long as they're not really bad. Like if they need stitches, then super glue is not the way to go. What else? I mean, it'll do in the pinch, but preferably not. You need to know basic medicine. You need to irrigate any kind of wound that is there. Irrigate it really well and then disinfect it. Alright? And then might need antibiotics depending on how bad it is. Some of the things that came out, you know, everything stopped during Hurricane Helene. For 3 or 4 days, everything in Texas stopped. A buddy of mine paid overnight express delivery, and I didn't see it for a week because there were no PVC fittings probably in the entire state of Texas because everybody's pipes broke. Right? So, and look into Jace case. Right. Look into plenty of bandages. I did a video when I fucked my hand up. And you can probably still maybe see the scar right there on the, like if you look at my thumb and go straight towards the edge of my hand, that that's a scar. That's not a wrinkle that's supposed to be there, right? I told you, 4 or 5 times, 6 times what you got. That's for one bad wound, right? Shoes, outerwear. It's almost Labor Day. Fall's coming. Winter will be here. You know, do you have firewood on hand? Do you have a wood stove on hand? Do you have, you know, can you live without heat? Like the electrical kind, like if your house is heated by electricity and electricity goes out, can you heat it? Can you stay warm? Can you not freeze? You have a clothesline on your property. During the summer, when it's not humid, you can hang your clothes up. You have fans, both regular electrical fans, whether they're ceiling or box fans or whatever, and do you have like a DeWalt 24 volt fan with multiple battery packs and a way to charge them? Do you have backup electricity system? Do you have generators? Do you have solar capabilities? Long list of stuff. And remember, it's a marathon, it's not a sprint. If you have to cover down on what's really important: water filtration, ability to get potable water, ability to have food, and ability to have shelter and security. Right? Information is knowledge and power. Live a little, prep a lot, share love. G Prepper out.